What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a new knife model in to check out. Let's get into it. All right, guys, we got a new model in from a company I have not dealt with yet. This is the Molsect Jungle Knife. At least that's what it says on Amazon. I couldn't really find any other listings for it or any other names for it. This is a budget offering though, and it is quite a large knife. You have a 14C 28N coated blade. Looks like the thumb studs are coated aluminum. It could be coated steel. Yeah, they're definitely coated steel. They look like aluminum, but it's a very nice coating that's on there. G10 scales. Looks like steak skin print, maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that. You got a steel fold over deep carry pocket clip that's nested. You have proud steel liners with a G10 backspacer and a lanyard hole. Very interesting. Now, I didn't check the hardware. That's the one thing I forgot to do when I was doing the review. So T6 standoffs, and you have a Phillips head pivot screws. So very different construction that you have going on here. Like I said, this is a liner lock. Knife is running on bearings. You have a flipper tab and you have thumb studs. So you can do a thumb flick or a reverse flick. Now, it is quite a large knife, so it is a lot to handle, but it does have a well done detent. It is a very late break, and if you miss the break and you don't time it right, what you just saw will happen. It'll it'll hammer down on that thumbnail. So the detent ball break, let's see here, braking, and right there. So right there, you're getting on the ramp. So very, very late break on this one. Outside of that, it has a Bowie style blade or buoy, depending on what part of the continent you're from. Also, it has a pretty decent flat grind here. Kind of reminds me of a chisel grind a little bit, the way that this one's done, but it's just a half or a 50-50 flat, and then up here you have just the actual blade stock thickness. Not terribly thick, but robust enough to where I felt like this could be a heavy duty or hard use. You got a nice choke up point here for choking up to do cuts with, and then you can choke all the way back. This has been in the pass round. It is a review sample, so when I took it through the catalog paper, it felt like it had a few blemishes on it, but it actually performed surprisingly well going through the cardboard. It cut fine. I had no issues ergonomically. It was fairly comfortable. I could feel the pocket clip poking a little bit when I was cutting through the cardboard. And then when I went into the pinch grip, it is just absolutely ridiculous. It is such a large knife. Detailed work and trace cuts are not going to be really the forte for this one. It is definitely more suited for hard use, heavy duty. I would even say a little bit of some tactical vibes going on with this one, but seems like it's pretty well made. I don't know if Molsect is producing these directly or if they have an OE that's making them for them, but either way, coming in at a decent price point of under $60. Let's do some size comparisons, then we'll weigh the knife and wrap up with final thoughts and impressions. Alright guys, I have my Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight and my Devo Knives Fireball on the table here. My Manix 2 represents more of the full-sized knives that are in my inventory, and the Fireball kind of more of the medium-sized EDC. And as you can see, this is definitely a full-size knife, much larger than everything here on the table. Let's do a couple more, and then I'll actually bring the ruler out because I'm curious to see where it lands on the ruler. Alright guys, so we have the Kubi Knives Supercell for another full-size comparison out of the budget realm, and we have the CJRB Pyrite Light in alt form here, representing more of that medium-sized EDC. Again, you can see the Molsect here is definitely full-size. Let's move these out of the way. We will check it against the ruler, and then we'll weigh this one out. All right, we got the ruler down on the table, and just roughly estimating here, this looks like it's over 9.5 inches long. Looks like it has about a 4 2/3, maybe even really close to 4.5-inch blade with about 4 inches of cutting edge. Let me go ahead and grab the scale and we'll check the weight on this one. All right, scale is out and on. Let me go ahead and throw this one down on the scale. I'm expecting like 6 ounces here, guys. Coming in at 7.5 ounces, full size and full weight. Let me move the scale out of the way. We'll go ahead and wrap up with my thoughts and impressions on this one. All right, guys, final thoughts and impressions. If you're not familiar with how I review, I grade these knives on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the best, 10 the worst. Budget knives are limited at 7 just because of materials, and I do this for a point of reference. So if I've ever graded another knife that you're familiar with on the channel, you have an idea of where this may compare in regards to it. Having said that, everything that goes into the score is going to be value for money, meaning what you're getting as far as materials, how those materials are put together and build quality, how it performs and functions, again, ergos, access to that lock bar, everything. For me on this one here, it is very specialized. It's full size, feels very tactical, not really something I would personally EDC, but that doesn't mean that someone wouldn't appreciate this full size knife as an EDC, especially at under $60 with 14C28N G10 on steel liners. Bearings in the pivot, I can't disassemble it to verify whether or not they're ceramic or not, but I imagine that the listing on Amazon would probably highlight that if they were ceramic bearings, kind of calling that out as a feature. For me on this one, I'm probably going to go for 7. Nice knife, good build quality, just too large for me to EDC, gives me too much of a tactical vibe. I feel like no matter what I would pull this out for, regardless of the task, it would probably be a little offensive, a little eyebrow raising. So for me, a little bit lower on there, but if you're looking for something to use and abuse that's full sized, this one probably would fit the bill. I will make note that the lockup here is coming in around 20%, I want to say. Maybe 30 if you're lucky, because it is kind of a thin blade stock, but I don't want to spine whack it or anything like that. It is locked up nice and solid. I don't know how hard it would be to disassemble. It does have really small hardware for a large knife. It also has a unique Phillips head style, flathead, not Phillips, flathead style pivot there. And then the pocket clip is a little tight. I do see that it snags on those screws because they are proud as well. I would probably say if those were recessed, that would help a little bit. And it's a heavy knife, 7.5 ounces, definitely has some weight to it for something that you would want to throw in your pocket. You're going to feel that, especially if you're trying to be nimble or agile or run around or anything like that. But that is my full review of the Molsect jungle knife. Nice, just not for me. Let me know what you think about this one down in the comments below. If you're interested, I will have that linked for you. It is an affiliate link, so when you use that, it helps the channel. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated. If you're enjoying the content, a subscription would be appreciated. Special shout out to my channel members. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Have a great week. I'll catch you next time. Peace.